Hey guys, this is Nick from ForexForNoobs.com with my midday analysis. If you enjoy this analysis and my other videos, hit the subscribe button below this video. Subscribing to my YouTube channel gives you an instant notification whenever I add a new video. Also, please hit the like button below if you find this video useful. So before I start the analysis, I want to explain how it works so you can actually use it in your trading. On most Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, I hold a live analysis session for my Forex Mastermind students. These sessions are recorded and posted to YouTube. I say most because some days I'm busy and other days I'm not trading, and I have a rule: when I'm not trading, I do not post analysis. In the analysis, I look for price action reversal setups on around 10 to 20 pairs that I'm currently trading. I check every time frame for every pair, taking a systematic approach to doing analysis. Personally, I do this analysis several times per day, but only the midday session is recorded as most setups are spotted then. So what are setups? A reversal setup occurs when price stalls at an area of support resistance and a transition of power occurs, from buyers to sellers or from sellers to buyers. I wait for price to approach these areas and spot potential setups. But these setups are not actual trades. When I share a setup on this analysis, it doesn't mean I'm entering the trade right away. Setups are just setups, and many setups do not trigger, so they never actually become trades. But some of them do, of course, and some of them become trades. To understand this, you have to know a little bit about my strategy, which I share for free on ForexForNoobs.com, and there's a link to the strategy also below. I use 4 different tags in the name of these analysis videos. The tags are in brackets at the end of the name. It's important to know these tags just so you understand what is in the video. So if you see no setups, that means there are no setups today, obviously. If you see upcoming setups on, that means there are no setups, but I have spotted some very strong support resistance areas, which may lead to setups later in the day. So that could be anywhere between a few hours to a whole day. And if it's tagged with setups on, that means there are setups today, and I'm sharing potential trades in the video itself. So let's get started with the analysis. Today is Thursday, the 1st of June, 2017. Time is 13:01 here in the UK. Hello, everyone. Hi, Dario. Hi, Alex. Hi, Stevie. How are you guys doing today? Let's go up to the daily. Looking at GBPCAD daily chart, by the way. I don't know why I have those up there. Alrighty, so let's get started with the analysis. Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for asking, Fab. Bought some garden furniture a few days ago. Just arrived like 5 minutes before the webinar started. Last sunny day before the rain comes, typical in the UK. So now I have some garden furniture to sit out and enjoy the sun. So yeah, looking like it's going to be a good day. All right. Anyway, enough about my garden furniture. Let's focus on actually what we're here for, the analysis. So GBPCAD, you're looking at a daily chart right now. All right, so I am short on GBPCAD. I put in a pending order after this broke down and triggered at like 1 a.m. in the morning or something. So it broken down below my entry and I missed it, but then I put a pending order and it came back up to it. So I got into the trade, quite a nice little trade so far. I mean, it is retracing on GBPCAD, so you know, it's not going amazingly well, but this is normal. I mean, price doesn't just fly in your direction all the time. This little retrace, I'm not too worried about it. But this is the trade we were looking at yesterday, essentially looking for a continuation here. So a bounce from resistance and continuation. So we got indecision forming on resistance, trade was entered, and now it started continuing down. It's doing a little retrace right now, but it's looking okay. It's looking pretty decent. I'm not worried. So yeah, short on GBPCAD based on yesterday's analysis. Let's hope that this is the start of a major bearish trend. So my target is around about here, where this green shaded area ends. That's my target. But this is just the kind of like, I'm going to place it there and then we'll see how it goes. You know, I might extend my target all the way down to here. If this is the start of a major trend, I might extend it all the way down to here. We'll just see how it goes. But right now, my target is pretty reasonable. Might even have it at 1.5. I'm just gonna see how it plays out. That's all. GBPUSD, same deal. On the 8 hour, very, very messy. You know, I'm going into a messy area, so I'm not expecting it to move quickly. On the 6 hour, sorry, 6 hour. I'm not expecting it to move quickly because it's a very messy area. When you look to the left, that's the first thing you do when you want to enter a trade. You look to the left, it's a messy area, but this is a continuation trade. So I'm thinking, you know, if it starts trending in this direction, it's all good. The messiness isn't going to affect it too much. But to be honest, you know, these two trades are somewhat risky. Now, the reason for that is they've already did an attempt at a continuation. So price came here, pushed up, not quite to resistance, and they attempted a continuation and bam, turned around. So there's already been an attempt at a continuation and it didn't work out. So, you know, jumping in now, somewhat risky. You know, I'm just saying I recognize the risk. So I've lowered my risk percentage on each of these trades. Also, they're somewhat correlated, so I was keeping that in mind too. So yeah, I'm just going to let it play out, see what happens. GBPAD, I didn't enter this one. This one just didn't look good. It didn't look as good. So I'm in these two, not in this one. Probably, you know, this one is still okay, and I'm still considering maybe entering if it starts to push down, but yeah, probably not. It's just harder with this one. Let's look at it on the 12 hour. Oh yeah, it's a huge indecision candle on the 12 hour. Yeah. I'm just trying to figure it out. We'll see how this one goes. There's still potential, maybe even on the 12 hour, depending on how this candle closes. There's potential with this one. Yeah, so let's keep this one. Let's keep this one as a possible trade. It's still a possible trade. It's not been written off, not by any means. It's not been written off, still a potential trade. We'll just see how this one plays out. Let's go on to EUR/JPY. EUR/JPY, what's going on with EUR/JPY? EUR/JPY, we were talking about this yesterday as a potential continuation reversal. Again, this one didn't quite look as good. It's pushed up towards the higher side of resistance, so it's a bit, it's just going to be a bit hard to get a good risk to reward ratio of this. I'm just not really too interested in EUR/JPY anymore. Not going to take a trade here. New Zealand CAD, we're looking at a potential short yesterday. The short just never really happened. We're looking at the daily chart. The candle just didn't close well. So yeah, nothing really happened here. It looks like it might head down now, but the indecision candle is just so big. It's just way, way, way too big. So yeah. AUD New Zealand, what's going on with AUD New Zealand? AUD New Zealand is just kind of trending down. It's trending down pretty heavily. Yeah, it's just like pushing down really fast, but there's not much opportunity to enter a trade here. Do we even have, oh yeah, we do have a support area down here. Yeah, I can't really do much with this one at the moment. So we'll just leave that. Sorry, I didn't realize the chart hadn't scrolled down. Let me scroll down and catch up. All right, everyone was just saying hi, sorry. Can someone type something? I want to see if this is scrolling down automatically because it looks like it isn't, which is kind of annoying. All right, it is. I don't know why it didn't before, but it looks like it is now. All right, well, good. All right, AUDJPY, what's going on with AUDJPY? Okay, AUDJPY has come down to this support area, kind of stalling right now, but there's nothing that's standing out to me as something I would want to trade. I mean, we could say, yeah, AUDJPY, we might be seeing a potential reversal setup, you know, but it's just like, it's just messy. That indecision candles, I'm just not interested in it. I'm just not that interested in AUD right now. It's just moving a bit weird. All right, so yeah, AUDUSD is just in between support resistance. It's pushing down quite heavily. But it's in between support resistance. We can't do much there. All right, Euro AUD. Yeah. AUD is just kind of like, I don't know what it is about it. It's just moving weird. Let's place a support resistance up here. Go to the daily chart first, of course. Oops. What am I doing? There we go. All right, yeah, this looks like an okay resistance area. I mean, it's got a few bounces on the daily chart. It looks okay. Euro AUD. So Euro AUD is approaching this resistance area. Last time it hit resistance, there was a potential reversal here. I didn't enter this one, but you know, theoretically, this could have been entered as a reversal trade. It would have failed. Yeah, it would have failed. So I'm honestly not really having too much confidence on the euro on this pair. I don't think I would enter. I kind of don't want to really counter this euro trend, to be honest. So let's just see what happens. Let's see what happens with this. I mean, it could be coming up to this resistance area here. It could be stalling out here. We'll just keep a close eye on it, but there's nothing that we can do, to be honest, at the moment. It's just stuck between support resistance, or moving between support resistance areas. When I say that, I mean it's moving in the area between two support resistance areas. So this is the area in between. It's moving through this area, so we can't really do much right now. All right, Euro CAD. What's Euro CAD doing? It's just broken above resistance and it's kind of stalling there, isn't it? Nothing much. Euro GBP. What's Euro GBP up to? Nothing much. It's just on resistance. Euro USD. Some of you are short on Euro USD. Is that correct? I saw that on the forum. Not a bad setup, actually. It's not a bad setup. You have two recent bounces on your side. Bam, bam. And now it's trying again. Let's see if it works out. What news? What news? I have been a bit lazy with checking news. Recently, I've started caring less and less about news, and while I should check it, the side effect of caring less and less about news is that I just haven't been checking it as often, which is bad. Oh wait, we're supposed to have NFP this week. Of course we are. I'm crazy. I need to get back to checking news daily. It's kind of silly. Although I obviously would have noticed that. Oh, Trump is speaking. That's going to be fun. But to be honest, Trump's speeches don't really affect price that much anymore. They did you know, when he was running and when he first got elected. But now it just kind of like, it just does, whatever he says just doesn't tend to have a big impact anymore. So yeah, I wouldn't be too worried about that. We have the manufacturing PMI, but that's well above. Let me move this onto the main screen. All right, so upcoming news. These are just the red reports. USD, non-farm employment change, that's the ADP numbers. They can have an impact, but it's not that crazy. Unemployment claims, of course, they can have an impact, but not that crazy. ISM manufacturing PMI, this one really only matters when it's near the 50 mark. So when it goes above 50 or drops below 50. So let's say it's at 49.5 and then it goes above 50. That's usually when it has an impact. Or let's say it's at 50.5, then it drops below 50. That's usually when it has an impact. But other than that, this, you know, it's not a huge deal. The manufacturing PMI. Crude oil inventories, yeah, I mean, look, point is, the only thing I'd be worried about today with USD news, the only thing I'd be worried about today is President Trump speaks. The stuff he says doesn't really have a huge impact anymore, but you never know. I mean, when any important person speaks, they could say something that is going to affect price. And, you know, I've been called out before by people saying, oh, you're anti-Trump and stuff like that. But I don't live in the US. I don't really care that much about Trump. I'm not being anti-Trump. It's just he does say some stuff that is surprising. He does say some stuff that's very cryptic. He just says a lot of things that you wouldn't expect a president to say. And those things can have an impact on the market. These days, like over the past month or two, that impact has become less and less, but just be aware that he is unpredictable and he can say some stuff that you wouldn't expect a president to say, and that can cause a big impact. Just be aware. So do keep an eye out around this time. But yeah, everything else I wouldn't be too worried about. The only thing, yeah, Danny has he has no filter. That's a decent way of putting it. So let's just see what happens. Just be careful. And then tomorrow, it's just a normal one, you know, non-farm employment change. We all know that's a big report. That's the biggest, most impactful report in Forex. So be prepared for that. But I generally don't really care about the NFP anymore. You know, 90% of the time, NFP pushes price in my direction. 90% of the time, it's a positive force because I firmly believe that when I see a reversal setup, I'm seeing that, oh, look at that. Your trade's moving in your direction. When I see a reversal setup, that reversal setup is forming because the banks, the hedge funds, everyone in the know is positioning themselves to make profit from the NFP report. And I'm seeing that positioning as indecision, as a trade setup. Then I enter that setup and NFP pushes it in my direction. So this is why I've kind of I've started ignoring news because it doesn't really matter to me that much anymore. All right. Hey, that's pushing back down now too. So yeah, Euro USD. You guys are short. A few of you guys are short. It's looking decent. Let's have a quick close look at this. So what's the target here? If you're going for a 1.5, you're almost at target already. If you're going for a 2, and it's down here, it's closing in on a 2 also. So yeah, I mean, this Euro USD trade looks pretty decent, guys. Your target is 1.116. Target is yeah, your target's all the way down there. Fair enough. I mean, yeah, it could definitely go down there. 11270. So you're long? Yeah, but Lee, 1127 is up here. Hi, Kamal. Yeah, but Lee, you're saying, you said my target is 11270. So I guess you meant stop, but that was the confusion there. If you say my target is, then... Yeah, your stop can be above, can be below. I was just placing a stop above the wick. But, you know, it just depends where you're going to place your stop. So it can be above, it can be below. It's just up to you. It's up to the individual trader. There's no set in stone rule with what to do with your stops. It just comes down to the individual. So if you want to have a tight stop, then you're going to have a bigger risk to reward ratio, better risk to reward ratio. You're going to have a tighter target, so it has to move less to hit your target. If you have a wider stop, the plus side is your stop is going to be a lot harder to hit, but then your target has to be a lot bigger. So it's just a balancing act. Some people are going to have their stops here. Some people are going to have their stops up here. It just depends. It depends on the trader. It depends on their rules. You know, the whole idea of my strategy is that it's flexible. So you have your stop loss up there. That's absolutely fine, man. No, there isn't. I tend to sway towards the side of safe stops. If I were entering this trade myself, I would probably go something like have a stop here, which is, yeah, pretty much where you have it. I probably have it at 11270, roughly around there. My reasoning for that would be that it's kind of like towards the top side of the resistance area. And, you know, keep in mind that this resistance area I have is quite wide. And these blue shaded areas I have around my resistance, they don't really mean anything. They don't exist. I just place them there because it looks nicer. I don't like having just the lines. So this resistance area in reality is probably about here. You know, something like that. So having it up here, we've got it beyond resistance, but not only that, we've got it beyond, we got it to the top side of resistance and we got it beyond these highs here. So I'd probably have my stop around about where you have it if I was personally entering this trade. But hey, if you want to place your stop tight, you can do that. It's going to give you a better risk to reward ratio. But then if your stop is hit and the trade continues in your direction and you post that to the forum, I'm going to say to you, well, you might have considered having a tighter, a bit of a looser stop. But in the end, that's up to you. That's up to your own personal risk management rules. A lot of people try to define stops and targets as part of a strategy, but I think that the strategy itself is how you find the trades, how you spot the trades. The stops and targets is the realm of risk management. So I think that strategy is about spotting trades, entering trades. Stops and targets are where risk management comes in. And obviously the strategy, which is price action, is what we're trading. It's going to have an effect on your stops and targets, but stops and targets are something that is more towards the risk management side. And yeah, in my personal case, I'd probably side with you, but having it down here is also valid. It's just a bit riskier that your stop is going to be hit. your stop's going to be hit, and then price is going to continue. Fair enough. Does that answer everyone's question in relation to targets and stops? Sorry, I keep checking back on my trades, but I just want to see how they're going. I generally don't check back on my trades, but when I have charts in front of me, I do kind of check back a bit regularly. Alrighty. Danny, Danny, I think we've gone a bit too far into targets and stop losses already for an analysis session, because this is analysis. So I don't want to go into too much on targets and stops. There's videos covering that in the course. There's a new video covering that in the course. So I would suggest you refer to the video, and then if you have any follow-up questions, ask them in the forum and I'll respond there. It's just because these get posted to YouTube, so it's a bit of a balancing act of keeping it about analysis and then keeping the course material only in the private areas, if that makes sense. All right, Jesper, Nick, we have a look at New Zealand USD again, continuation reversal. Yeah, we'll have a look at New Zealand USD when we reach it, man. All right, GBPCHF, what's going on with GBPCHF? GBPCHF is still trending down. Big surprise. It's trending down like crazy. So yeah, no surprise that it's continuing to do that. GBPJPY, what's going on with GBPJPY? It started to move up. Nothing much that we can trade there. Right, New Zealand USD. We are at New Zealand USD now. So what is the question in regards to New Zealand USD? We are getting what is potentially going to be a continuation reversal on New Zealand USD. This pair is got a nice strong trend up. We had a potential reversal here that we didn't enter. I can't remember why we didn't enter, but we were talking about this one on Tuesday, and it didn't end up being a valid trade. It's continued up, so now we can get in possibly on that kind of move. So continuation / reversal. I just call them continuation reversals. So yeah, you said a continuation reversal. So I'm not sure what exactly your question is. I mean, obviously I know that you asked, could we have a look at New Zealand USD again, continuation reversal, but I don't know what your question is about this continuation reversal. It hasn't really formed a reversal yet. So what I want to see is price falling into this support area and decision forming. Then we could potentially go long. Let's keep a close eye on New Zealand USD. This looks quite interesting. It looks like it could give us a nice little continuation trade. Let's keep a very close eye on this. New Zealand USD, moving it to the top of the list. And let's just see how it goes. All right, New Zealand JPY is in between. So look at that move. Look at that range. That is a tight range. New Zealand JPY just ranging tightly in between support resistance. Nothing much we can trade there. Jesper, I think I answered your question. So if I haven't, just feel free to let me know and I'll go back to it. USD CAD. Not doing anything interesting. USD CHF. Counter trend reversal, but it's a bit below support. It's a bit messy. I'm not too interested in this, to be honest. USD JPY. Stuck on an area of support. CAD JPY, not even sure why I have it open. I think maybe someone asked about this yesterday after the analysis. Euro New Zealand. A few people are long on this one, right? Looks like it's stalling out a bit, but... All right, the problem I have with this, it looked like a good trade. It looked like it was going to go well. But now we've got indecision. It's doing a lower low and a lower high right now. And overall, this is trending down, it looks like. So I would just be careful here as to how it goes. I mean, we see that obviously it's going to struggle in this area. We see several points of it struggling in this area. And we're seeing very similar struggle right now. We're seeing a downtrend. So yeah, just watch this one closely. I'm not going to say like, you know, go crazy and exit right now. I'm just saying watch it closely. See how it goes. It might make logical sense to exit this one early if it starts going down again. Just watch it closely and see how it goes. Yeah, I mean, that pretty much covers it for the analysis today. So let's just do a quick recap. New Zealand USD is looking good for a potential bullish continuation reversal. Maybe I should just call these continuations, but to me they're continuation reversals because what we're getting is we're getting a trend down into support, we're getting indecision, and then we're getting a potential bullish move. So it's a reversal from this trend here. So that's why I call it continuation reversal. It's a reversal from this mini trend heading into support, but it's a continuation of the overall trend. So yeah, hence the term continuation reversal. So we're getting a potential, what looks like a potential continuation reversal, or at least price is headed down into the area. So if price comes further down, we get indecision, potential trade here. Keep a close eye on it, guys. GBPCAD, yeah, just, I mean, if you're in, just stay in. It's not looking amazing right now, but, you know, that's normal. I'm not too worried. They are somewhat risky trades. And GBPAUD, keep a close eye on this. 12 hour might turn out okay. Might be able to get a trade here. Who knows? Worth keeping an eye on, guys. But other than that, all right, Ash has a question. Would I enter New Zealand would I enter New Zealand USD if it forms and triggers on Friday before NFP? Yeah, possibly. I mean, it depends on the situation, Ash. You know my answer to these kinds of questions, man. It depends on the situation. Every trade setup is different, and you have to assess it based on its own unique qualities. So, is this setup going to be an amazing setup? Is it going to have strong indecision? Is it going to have a nice preceding trend? Is it going to look like a strong setup that I think has a high chance of working out? If so, then I might enter it before NFP. If it's a crappy setup, it looks very risky, if the risk to reward ratio just completely sucks, and, you know, it just seems like a super risky trade, then I'll probably say, no, it's not worth it. It depends. We'll see what happens when it comes to it. I think that pretty much wraps it up though, guys. I'm going to end the video and then I'll take a few more questions after the video is ended. Thanks for watching the analysis. I hope it was useful. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button below. Also, for instant notifications when I post analysis or other cool videos, subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking the subscribe button below. Once the setups I share in this analysis trigger, I post live updates as I manage the trade, such as my entry, exit, stop, and when to get out of the trade. For these updates, add me on Facebook or Twitter by clicking the buttons below. I'll see you in the next video.